Hey guys, welcome to Beyond the Buzzer again. We're here at BCAT All-Star Weekend. We got a guy that I'm very familiar with and adore, Jim McDowell from Lebanon High School. Had the opportunity to be an assistant coach at Lebanon High School and coach Jim, and one of the hardest working players, did intangible stuff, helped get us to the state tournament, and probably without him, I think it'd be hard to get there. And a guy I really look up to, and got the opportunity to have him on my staff at Wilson Central as well, and does a lot of things behind the scenes with BCAT as well. So just want to kind of throw him through the gauntlet a little bit and ask him a few tough questions. First one, Coach, who is the best team that you have coached against so far in your career?
I mean, off the top, and I think a lot of this was probably because of one of the best player was Cane Ridge. When we opened up with them with Brandon Miller.
That's a
the
good choice.
year we went to the Final Four of the state tournament, but we opened up with them, and they handled us pretty good to start the year. And some of our guys were looking at me, Coach, kind of looking at what we're getting into. But I mean, they just said, Coach Sims did such a great job with that group, and coaching against a lottery pick was a special night.
Yeah,
sure.
He's doing big things in the NBA.
Yeah.
What was the toughest gym to play in?
Man, I know that we're here, but I say at Wilson Central, man, when y'all had that thing rolling, I mean, it was always a rivalry game, and it always seemed like it was hot as heck in there when we were playing. You never know.
That was by purpose.
Yeah, you never know where we're going to dress when we get there. I mean, we could be in a laundry room, or we could be in the
weight room.
You never know. So there was that aspect of it. Some gamesmanship there, but y'all obviously had some really good teams and had some good battles in there. So I would say that was one of the toughest places to play.
Yeah, people used to always complain about the heat, and I would actually turn it up on purpose. We wanted that. We were going to be pressing and trapping. We wanted that to be an advantage.
Well, you know how I dress, and I'm telling you, I would be coming through
Get
that
you out of that
jacket.
sport coat, man. So, who was the toughest team so far to score against in your career?
Man, those Troy Allen teams, I mean, obviously you had some really good teams and tough as well. But, the way that they played and the physicality, between your teams, between Luna's teams, between Troy Allen's teams, obviously those having to coach against the Gallatons and the Wilson Centrals and the Mount Juliet, Green Hill, or even you at Brentwood, they challenge you as a coach and they make you better. You got to figure out ways, because you're not going to get anything easy. It's not like when you're coming into maybe some of these tournament games, the teams haven't scouted you and you can run your primary actions and just get an easy basket. You're not getting those on those nights for sure.
All those are great. Troy Allen's team's definitely being inducted in the Hall of Fame today here for BCAT. Definitely had a toughness to them, man.
Yeah.
Had some incredible battles for sure. Give me a couple players that that's some of your favorite players to have coached so far in your career. And it doesn't necessarily mean the best player, but guys that you really enjoyed and they brought a difference to your program.
I think the two guys that really jump off to me, and I've been fortunate to have some really good players. Obviously, being in it as long as we have, and to do it, you're going to have good players, or you're not going to win enough to keep doing it. But the two guys that may not, kind of be that many people may think about. One, Keyshawn Abson, who's coaching with me now and has for the last several years. He was a guy that when I first got the job, he was a freshman, and by the time he got to be a senior, he had really kind of bought in and really helped change the level of our program. That was the first time we made a district championship game. We made the region tournament. He was a really good scorer, had a really good instincts on the defensive standpoint. I joked with him a lot of times about he didn't really like to play defense, but he was a guy that, he would make a big play, he would make a steal, and he's become just an incredible asset to our program and also to our community, and just the way he gives back.
Yeah, he's a legend guy.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. He was a great player. He really, he got a lot better each year.
He did. I mean, he scored over 1,000 points, and so he was one, especially early on when I first got the job, that kind of really changed the trajectory of our program. And then the other one is a guy, he coached with me briefly, and he's coaching now, Cameron Oliver. I would say he's one of the toughest guys I've coached. I mean, he was a 5'10" and a half, four-man.
Motor guy, man.
Motor, toughness, take charges, just loved it. Leader, not afraid to speak up, not afraid to call guys out, made big plays, just lived it, thrived on it. I actually talked to him this morning on the way in. He was asking me to go play golf. I wish I could have gone and done that. But, those two guys really, like you talked about, Lebanon guys, tough guys, but just love the game and continue to give back to the game. So those are the two I would say.
Last question. What would current and former players say about you as a coach? How would they describe you as a coach, you think?
I think, when we had kind of a similar background playing for Coach Hutto, and, I know you played for Coach Gibbs, and I really think, I'm not as hardcore, as tough as those guys. I mean, I don't know if anybody is, but
for sure.
I think my guys would say that, I care about them. We have a good relationship. I think that they know that whatever they needed, whatever, I go to bat for them, and that I cared about them. And also, too, I think that the guys that make it all the way through, that they really, Lebanon basketball means a lot to them. And so that's something that I think really kind of early on in my career, and just like a lot of us, we're kind of more worried about the wins and losses, and you get caught up in that. But the longer you do it, you really value the relationships, and you value the time that you get to spend with these guys, and the ones that come back and see you and care about what you do.
Yeah, and I know just from being out of it now, from the coach standpoint, it gets better and better. You definitely, those guys become family.
Yes, 100%.
So appreciate having Coach McDowell on, and BCAT All-Star Weekend. Be sure to subscribe to Beyond the Buzzer.